Hi dear students, welcome back to computer science class. We have already completed data structures in Python. Now it's time to look at another very important topic in computer science as well as in your plus 2 syllabus. It's all about relational database and SQL. We have already learned the fundamental concepts, fundamental aspects of relational database as well as SQL in our plus 1 standard, different ways of managing files, like using file system and database management system. Then the concepts of database management system, relational database management system, and different data models. Then a concept of keys, primary key, foreign key, alternate key, number of keys. Then relational algebra, set of operations, and SQL, subset of SQL commands like DDL and DML, and all commands in detail. And we have implemented all those concepts in plus 1 standard. Now it's all about relational database and SQL in detail. I would say it's an extended version of plus 1. We'll have some more topics to learn here in plus 2 syllabus. Okay. Without more introduction, we can move on to the subject. The chapter name is Relational Database and SQL. As I've told you, it's one of the most important topics or concepts in computer science as well as in your plus 2 syllabus, right? So actually, what is the concept of database? Actually, we know when we consider any software, there will be two ends, right? There will be two ends for every software. One is front end, other is back end. Front end is the end through which we are interacting with the software, right? It acts as an interface between the user and the software. The visible part of a software is called front end of a software, and the concept of back end, it was something very infamiliar to us, right? Just before learning this topic. And backend or the rear end means the end where all the data related to the software are stored, are managed, are manipulated, are controlled, are organized. Okay, the place where data is stored, manipulated, and organized is called backend of a software. So using Python, C++, Java, all those kind of languages are used to develop the front end of a software, and languages like MySQL, SQL, Oracle, all those kind of DBMS are used to manage the backend. So managing what backend of a software, rear end of a software is somewhat complex, as we know. But using SQL, it's very easy, right? SQL is just like an English like commands, very easy to learn language other than any other language. Okay, please don't compare with Python. Python is also as that simple as what SQL, right? Or MySQL. Yeah. So let's move on to the topic, file system. Okay, we know actually this what the concept of database or database management system is mainly used to manage the data, right? Used to manage the file or the data. We know data is vital. Data is vital in any institution. If we are not giving that importance to it, what happens is it will be what invalid, right? Inaccurate, inconsistent. So data is vital in our daily life. So managing data is as important as data, right? Yes. So there are two systems of managing data in every institution or in an institution that can be broadly classified into two: file system and database management system. File system, as we know, it is maybe computer based or non-computer based. Okay, just think of non-computer based. That is a conventionally used system of managing files. When you look at any office, all days office, you can see they manage data mainly using pen and paper method, right? Using pen and paper, using hard copies of documents, right? Using pen and paper method. But a file system can be, as computer science student, we can relate it to what computer based, okay? But not completely computer based. They may be using computer, but they using different application software. That's key point. They use different application softwares to manage the data in an organization or in a company or an institution, whatever it is, okay? Meaning they use Word, MS Access database, then Excel. They may be using all these different softwares to manage their data, to organize their data. Meaning it is not purely a computer based record keeping system, but database management system is a purely computer based record keeping system, and we can say it's a centrally organized system, right? It's a centrally organized system, and we know the disadvantages of file system. For example, when we consider our school, we have a number of different places, right? Our main office, front office, vice principal's office, academic secretary office, principal's office, manager's office, then we have number of staff rooms, right? So actually at the time of admission, you may be giving your entire data, your complete data in the main office, okay? Then at the time of fee payment, they keep another document of yourself there in the front office, right? And vice principal keeps his own copy, academic secretary his own copy, your class teacher his own copy, your subject teachers their own copies, right? So there may be different number of files associated with you keeping in the school. And what happens is, suppose your phone number is changing, okay? You have changed your phone number, and you may be informed due to class teacher, okay? She may or he or she may change it in his or her record, but suppose he forget to inform it to or forward it to other places. As I've told you, your records are kept in many different places, the same data, right? So when they fail to update the data, or when they fail to inform it to the front main office, what happens? Actually, they control everything, and we have an SMS keeping assigning system in our school. And what happens is, if your phone number is not changed in the main office, they may be sending messages to your old number, right? What happens with that? What happens sending old number? You may not be familiar with or aware of or getting updates, school updates. So data became invalid there. That's a problem. There may be duplication, right? That's a point. There will be duplication file system. So duplication leads to inconsistency, right? Duplication in sense redundancy. Redundancy leads to inconsistency, inaccurate data, invalid data. Data may be scattered, so it will be invalid. These are some of the main problems in file system. So as database management system is a pure record keeping system, is a pure computer based record keeping system, there will not be scattering of data. There will be data stored only in one place, right? There will be data stored only in one place. That acts as a server machine, and all others acts as clients. Clients can access the data, right? So if you change the data in any of the places, what happens is the change will be reflected in the server machine, and that change will be reflected all other machines, right? So it's a centrally organized system of keeping the records. So there won't be any redundancy. If there is no redundancy, there won't be any inconsistency, right? So we are coming to it, okay? Just for an introduction, I've just given you the details of file system and database management system, as we have already learnt in +1, right? Okay, then we can move on to database, right? What do you mean by database? We can think of database as your shelf, bookshelf, right? If you're keeping it organized, we can think it of as a database, right? Then some other examples, when you're keeping a CD or your devices or whatever it is in an organized way, we can call it as a database. But here in computer terminology, we can call database as a centrally organized record keeping system. Record means data, okay? In computer science, we have pure distinction between data and information, right? Data is input, information is output. Data is unorganized, information is organized. Data cannot be used directly, but information can be used directly. But here in this database management system concept, we don't have such distinction, okay? We do take data and information somewhat similar, right? There won't be any distinction, okay? Both input and output are same here, okay? Because database manages both input and output, okay? There won't be any distinction, yeah. So database means it's an organized collection of data about an entity. It's an organized collection of data or information. It can be thought of information, right? About an entity. Entity means something which has existence. Something exists. Yeah. About an entity. Entity means anything. Okay. Then it's a shared collection. It's a shared collection. As I've told you, data is kept in a single machine, and all other machines use the data stored in that central machine, right? So shared collection of data. We can call it as shared collection of data. Then allows user to enter, access and analyze data. Database allows user to enter. We can enter data into a database. We can access data. We can take back the data. We can retrieve the data, right? Then analyze the data. We can manipulate the data. Analyzing the data, right? Yes. Then it's an integrated and shared. Integrated collection of data. It's an integrated collection of data. We can think it of as integrated means having different types of data, right? Database can manage different types of data. It can manage numeric data, it can manage text data, means alphabet, okay? It can manage audio, video, whatever kind of. That's what integrated collections. All these are integrated, right? These are not existing separate or independent. Okay, these are dependent. Yeah. Then shared, of course, shared. Then it can be thought of what? As a container repository of data. As a container of data. It's not only a container of data. Container can be think of what? Unorganized or organized. Okay. Here it is very clear. The concept is it's a container of data or it's a repository of data. Data is a what? Organized type. That's a key point. Okay. Data is of organized, not in an unorganized form. So database can be thought of. Database can be defined as an organized collection of integrated data. That's a what definition. Okay. It's an organized collection of integrated data. And these are some of the supporting points. Okay. You know it. Yeah. Then here we have a picture. Here is a user. Okay. Here this is a user and you can see the arrow. Okay. It's bidirectional. Then application in the sense software. Okay. Here is our software. We can have our school management software. Okay. School management system, SMS. Okay. School management system as our application. Then DBMS, the database management system. And here is the database. And another important point is database is hardware part. Okay. That is the hardware part of the software, and database management system is the software part. Okay, database management system is the software part of the software part, and what database is the hardware part. The exact place where we store the data, right? Store and manipulate the data. Yeah. So here is a user. Here is a software, school management system, and it has both what database management system and database. School management system is our software, and user interacts with the software. Then it has both database management system and database. Database management system is a software package or the software, and database is a hardware, right? Yes. Through database management system, we manage the hardware, the database, the exact database. Database is simply the place, the hardware, the hard disk where we store the data. Okay, not only storing, we know that. Example, school database. Okay, yes. So this is the basic idea of database. Then here we have a file organization hierarchy. Okay, hierarchy of storing file storage, file organization, how the data are stored. Okay, yes, the topmost element is, we know that it's database. We can start with the bottommost element. Okay, that is character. Character means ABCD. That's it. Okay, ABCD. Then field. What's a field? Field is what? Collection of characters. Collection of characters that make some sense. Like suppose we are storing information. Storing your data, okay, student data in the sense what we are what creating a record, creating a table, okay, creating a table. You know the term of relational, it's tabular, right? Okay, so we are creating a table for storing your data. We have a table named student with 3 columns: roll number, name, and marks. Okay, we have only 3 columns: roll number, name, and marks. So which are the fields? Roll number is a field. Field means simply column. Okay. Roll number is a field, name is another field, and marks is another field. So there are 3 fields in the relation or the table student. Okay, yes. Then we have record. What's a record? Record means collection of related fields. For example, student is a record. Okay, student is not a record. Details of one student. For example, 1 Arun 100 is a record, right? 1 Arun 100 is a record. Because 1 belongs to what roll number, Arun belongs to name, and 100 belongs to what marks, right? So that is what record is. What collection of related fields. Then what is a table or a file? What's a file? File or a table. It's a collection of records. Meaning in a table we will have what details of many students, right? 35 students, 40 students. Yeah. So that's what a table is. In a table you can see number of what rows. Row is what record is, right? Yes. Then finally database. Database means collection of tables or collection of files. Example, school database. Okay. In a table there will be what related, roll number, name, and marks. Okay. Yes. But when you consider your non-academics, your sports, your arts, what happens? There will be another what separate table for managing all those things. Okay. So that is what database is. Collection of files. Okay. It's very simple. We have started with character ABCD. Then field, roll number, name, marks. Okay, either roll number or name or marks. Okay. Then record, row, collection of related fields. There won't be salary in a student. Why? Because students are not getting salary. So there will be only related fields in a record. Okay. 1 Arun 100, 2 Alina 100. Okay, whatever it is. Yeah. Then table of file. What? Collection of records, collection of rows. You know, in a table we'll have number of what rows, right? So that's what file is. and collection of files is what? Databases, or collection of tables. Implementation wise we can call it as table. Okay, so collection of tables is what? Databases. So this is the file organization or file storage hierarchy, and the topmost element, the highest element in the hierarchy is database. Okay, we can say database is a collection of files, files is a collection of records, records is a collection of fields, fields is a collection of characters. Okay, yes. Then we can move on to database management system. We have already completed database. Okay, then we have database management system. We know it's a software part of what? The actual software. Okay, yes. Database management system is a software that connects user and the program to store and manipulate data. Actually, the single text definition is, single statement is, database management system is a software package that helps a user to store, view, retrieve and manipulate data in an organized way. Okay, it's a definition somewhat very simple. It's a software package used to store, used to view, used to what? Retrieve, taking back. Yes, just for what? Viewing purpose. Okay, and manipulation. Manipulation can be any kind. Can be of any kind. Okay, we will discuss it in the coming classes. Okay, yes, that's what, in an organized way. That's the last point. In an organized way. Yeah. Then allows the user to create, modify and control the database. We know that. Yeah, it allows the database management system, or DBMS, allows the user to create, modify and control the database. Okay, in an effective or in a very efficient way, which gives us high productivity. Okay, because we are managing very organized. Yeah. Then database management system is an electronic or computer based record keeping system. As I've told you, file system can also be a computer based record keeping system, but database management system is a purely computer based record keeping system. We don't use any other materials, any other physical entities. Okay, yes, other than computers and related devices or components. Then it's an integrated or summarized form. It's a data stored in integrated form or in summarized form. Okay, summarized means very organized form. If we do things organized, what happens? It will definitely enhances the productivity, right? It will definitely improve the productivity of doing whatever we do. Suppose we are studying, we are going to study something. Okay, if we are doing it in an efficient way, that is fixing up some timetable, very fixed time frames, and doing and completing things in time. Okay, revising things, it will definitely gives you a great level of performance, right? Productivity. Yeah. And some of the examples of database management system are MySQL, MS, Microsoft Access, Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL, SQLite, Oracle, SAP. These are some of the Fox-based, Sybase are some of the examples for database management systems, and we use either MySQL or Oracle. Okay, yes. Then it gives us tools to store data in structured way. It gives us options or tools to store data in very structured way, very organized way. It helps us to query the database. Querying the database means doing things, okay, performing operations in the database. Then sort and manipulate data. Of course, it allows us to sort and manipulate data. Then validate the data, just for avoiding inconsistencies. Okay, validation, you know that validation, validating your account. How? Just by matching your username and password. That's what matching. That's what validating is. Validation process. So actually database helps us to validate data, because data is stored there. Okay, at the time of signing in or signing in. Okay, at the time of signing in, what happens is the place where it stores the data will be matched with the entered data, right? Okay, if it matches, it gives you the page or your account. Yeah. Then produce flexible reports. Okay, of course it may be helpful. It's helpful for producing flexible reports, flexible user-friendly reports. Okay, report means the final output of our doings. Okay, yes. Then data consistency. It offers data consistency. There won't be any inconsistent data. Okay, we can avoid it to the high end, to the very extreme, if we use database management system for managing our data, and it offers consistency, as we will not have any redundancy, right? So these are some of the basic aspects of fundamental concepts, fundamental points related to database and database management system and data storage hierarchy. Let's have a quick revision. There are two systems of storing data: file system and database management system. File system is it can be pen and paper, it can be computer based, but not purely. There will be redundancy. Data may be stored in many different places, so no updation in one place, or some other places what happens, inconsistency, and scattered, independent. These are some of the independent. Okay, these are some of the problems with file system. So solution is database management system. Organized collection of data about an entity. Stored collection allows user to enter, access and analyze data. Integrate and shared container or repository of information. Application means the software or software. It has two parts: database management system, database management system is what the software part is, and database is the hardware part. School database. Okay, that's so hierarchy. The topmost element is database. Then a collection of database is a collection of files. Files is a collection of what records. Collection of fields is what record is. Collection of characters is what field is. Okay, yes. Then a database management system, it's a software package used to store, retrieve, view and manipulate data in a very efficient way. Connects the user and the program. Okay, you can do all these things, and it's an electronic or computer based record keeping system, and it's an integrator or summarized form. Okay, these are some of the examples, and it helps us to store data in a structured way, query the database, sort and manipulate data, validate the data, produce flexible reports, data consistency. Okay, so this is all about database fundamentals. Okay, and we are coming to what drawbacks of file system and advantages of database management system, applications and all those things. Okay, high-end things in detail in our coming classes. Okay, so this is all for the time being. Thank you for watching. Just go through all these topics very thoroughly. Okay, you have already an understanding of all this, but for your board exam, okay, you have to meet the board exam, okay, in a very near time. So just go through all these topics very thoroughly. So thank you for watching. Have a nice time. Take care.